And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 561. Today is Monday, March 16th, and I'm King. Of course, here to bridge the gap between community and crypto, Monday through Friday, at usually around 10ish, but as you can see, the days and times change. Bitcoin Zay has already got out of LA. If you all heard the news, and you know here in LA, we are hunkering down. They have closed all type of restaurants, bars, mayors declaring all types of state of emergency. It's going crazy, people. The grocery store shelves are empty. Oh man, listen. We said this was going to happen, right? We said this was coming. I'm going on early today. I got to keep people on their toes, right? I had that conversation with McAfee. He has me prepped and ready to go. I got you, McAfee. We got the go bag in the back. 3 days worth of whatever in there. Keep it moving. We're not gonna let no coronavirus slow us down over here. You know we are on and live Monday through Friday. What's going on, Leroy Forbes, Ariel Walker, Donald Muhammad, Andre Durden? Hey man, LA is crazy right now, man. They're closing stuff. I saw a girl my age the other day leave the grocery store with 2 buggies full of paper towel and tissue. I don't know. I wasn't invited to the cookout, but I know I'm still going to have me a plate. So, with that being said, the top stories of the day. Bitcoin price tops 5.9%. It tops $5,900 as Fed cuts interest rates to 0%. Restart quantitative easing. Not a drill. Business as usual for Bitcoin as Fed bails out the U.S. Rapper Akon shares white paper for upcoming cryptocurrency. Coinbase launches Bitcoin transaction batching, saving users 50% on fees. And cryptocurrency exchange Bitfinex lists 280 million crypto hedge funds. So not all bad news out there. What's going on, James Doe? Hello. Top story of the day, though. Before we talk about the top story, of course, let's go ahead and talk about the prices. Right now, I'm not even worried about the percentage swing because it's just been a straight downward drop since last week. But as I said, over the weekend, before you went to buying, make sure you kind of waited till Sunday or Monday. The price did drop a little bit more. It actually bounced back a little bit because we went as low as 4,500 on some exchanges. But today, Bitcoin's coming in at $5,054. Ethereum's at $113. Ripple's at 14 cents. Woo wee! Listen, people, if you remember about a month and a half, Ripple, I think, got all the way up to about 29 cent, 30 cent. And I remember telling some people before that when people were calling the buy-in market in at the 22 cent mark, if you would have bought in there, you would have made some money. But if you have not sold your Ripple, just go ahead and hold on to it. This is getting as low as the Ripple price was back in 2016 going into 2017. So it's crazy to actually see it this low. And if you believe in the Ripple project, this might be a steal for you. Bcash is at $169, continuing to fall hard. Litecoin's at $32.94. And EOS, that begs at $1.90. Let me go ahead and also mention Stellar Lumens, which is at 0.035 cent. And the reason why I'm mentioning them, because they have to do with a story today. So again, Stellar Lumens is at 0.03. That's 3 cents. But again, top story of the day. It's actually two top stories, which go in tandem. I had to pick on Cointelegraph because one of the first stories I saw was Bitcoin price tops $5,900 as Fed cuts interest rates to 0% to restart quantitative easing. And then right after that, I saw not a drill, business as usual for Bitcoin as Fed bails out US, talking about the price of Bitcoin not really making any waves. And these two articles were all of 10 hours away from each other on Cointelegraph. So listen, I appreciate Cointelegraph for pushing out articles from all their authors and content contributors out there, but they do 180s like within a matter of 10 hours. So we got to get a hand on that. But regardless, the top story of the day, it has to do with the Fed basically bringing in quantitative easing again, right? We saw this back in 2008 when the financial collapse happened the last time, and it looks like it may be on its way happening again. It looks like the surge in the price point for the initial article occurred shortly after the United States Federal Reserve announced that it would cut interest rates to 0% and launch a $700 billion quantitative easing program, and the regulator provided additional details about the type of securities it would purchase. Again, this shouldn't come as a surprise to you. I mean, we've been talking about this for a very long time. We even covered all those CEOs that quit Q1, which we're still kind of in Q1 of this year, when we had over 250 CEOs of all the top companies quit. Then all of a sudden, going throughout the end of last year, the Fed basically said they were going to print 750 United States dollars, which we kept saying that's not possible. That makes the money fake. But they are doing again. They're telling you that there are no interest rates, and they're pumping $700 billion into the market. Again, if that was Bitcoin doing that, if the Bitcoin software overnight said, when you woke up the next morning and said, hey, there's going to be 700 billion more Bitcoin, people would instantly stop using it. They would say, see, we told you this project was fake. This project was a scam. You can't trust it. And all that stuff will go along with the Bitcoin narrative if Bitcoin were to automatically release 700 billion overnight. So for the Fed to do that to the US dollar, again, we're seeing the same thing we saw in 2008. And the bottom line is that money is fake. The fiat currency system we live under is fake. And this could be the black swan event. Of course, Bitcoin, they always talks about, he said, hey, once we have that big black swan event that somebody didn't see coming, and it actually causes all these financial institutions like the Federal Reserve to be audited, and for us to actually see how much money we have or don't have, that would be the next event to lead to mass adoption, or at least the price spike of Bitcoin. I think we're right on target here as well. This may be the last time Bitcoin is this cheap, and hopefully it gets a little bit cheaper. People are saying it's going to drop down to 3,000 and some change. I think we still have a few more weeks left for it to possibly drop, depending on what happens with this coronavirus. But if it does continue to drop, again, you could ease onto the buying. You don't have to buy everything all at once. You could slowly buy, cost dollar save, average, and everything like that. But the bottom line is, this may be the last time Bitcoin is this low, because regardless of what happens with the federal government, if any market bounces back and Bitcoin's in decent shape and then the halving comes, that can only mean more good news for Bitcoin as the United States continues to print that funny money. No pun intended. Let's see. James Doe said Bitcoin is now at 5K flat. Exactly 5K right now. Literally 2 weeks ago, we were looking at about the 9K. Dwayne Samuel said, what's with the tissue hoarding? I don't get it. I mean, I'm a bachelor, though. Maybe that's why. I know some people who might have 5 or 6 people in the house, kids in the family. They're like, no, you guys don't understand. There will literally be crap everywhere if we don't have tissue. So maybe that's what's going on. But I don't understand the tissue thing. I was like, I just need like a little 4-pack. I'm good to go for a while. I don't know. Let's see. I got you, Don Muhammad. Dexter Hans Sr., yeah, got the rucksack in the background. Look, 72 hours, man. Go bag. Sergeant Crypto know what's up. Sister Lockmo, what's going on? P-Man Van, yes, what's going on? Brent prediction is now 0, and people are going crazy. I know, man. It's crazy times ahead of us. Like I say, LA shutting everything down. In other news, a story I was hoping to believe in, a story I'm still hoping to believe in, a project, I'm hoping to believe in. Rapper Akon shares his white paper for his upcoming cryptocurrency. If you remember, rapper and entrepreneur Akon shared his white paper for his upcoming Altcoin project. If you remember, he's been working on exclusively with Cointelegraph. It looks like this document describes Altcoin as a cryptocurrency, quote, designed for entrepreneurs in the rising economies of Africa and beyond, end quote, adding that the project's mission is to unlock the potential of the world's largest growing workforce using blockchain technology. Now, one of the things that's going on with this Altcoin project, and I'll bring up the white paper. You can look at it as well, as linked on Cointelegraph. I also will put that link in the chat box here. But yes, so some of the things about this Altcoin project is you can also use it to trade mobile credits. It's not going to just be a coin that only does peer-to-peer trading. It looks like the Altcoin will be a utility token that powers atomic swaps between cryptocurrencies, fiat currencies, and mobile phone credits on the Altcoin network. Now that the fiat currency part is going to be very interesting to see, because without government interference, my only assumption is that you can just have your own pot of money, which I know he has a lot of financial backing too. But if the government does get involved, I'm not sure from the regulatory side if they're going to really allow this to happen. That's why we haven't seen the United States yet as far as swapping cryptocurrencies with fiat currencies unless it's on an exchange, which has all type of regulations. So I'm not sure how he's going to do that. But Akon was being quoted as saying, we have so many currencies in Africa, a lot of them are unstable, and most of them are untrusted. It got to the point where the day-to-day African people don't even use the currencies anymore. They're using their cell phone minutes and credits as a way of trading for basic goods like produce, fish, fruits, and things on the market. So again, that's why he's starting this Acoin network. He said, of course, outside of villages, you can't really trade cell phone minutes for anything, which is why he wants the Acoin network, where you can put those cell phone minutes back in the Acoins, fiat currencies, or I'm assuming it's other stable coins. And again, I was talking about Stellar earlier because this project is being launched on the Stellar network, where tokens can be held in both Stellar and Acoin wallets. White paper also notes that the private transactions will be processed on the Acoin ecosystem and incur a fee of 2.5%. Now, I say all that to tell you all about the Acoin project with Akon, because I hope this to be a great project, but realistically, I'm thinking, I don't want to say the big S word just yet, but I don't have a good gut feeling about this project. A couple reasons. First of all, if you look at the actual team, for it to be a team about building up Africa, there doesn't look like a lot of people from the African diaspora are being represented on that team. I'll say that to begin with. It looks like Akon might be one of the only ones. And not saying that there has to be that representation, but just from what we've seen in the crypto space, a lot of people who are familiar with some of the crypto stuff will reach out to celebrities or partner with celebrities and recognizable names out there to start projects. So whenever I see little things not aligning like that, like your team and the project itself, sometimes I'm like, okay, well, that's my first red flag. You got, your regular business people out the blue coming over to help. Again, I don't know the story. Maybe they all have a personal story. And then the second thing is the white paper. All right, I've said this, I don't know how many times since 2017. First of all, if your white paper is longer than the Bitcoin white paper, I'm already not really interested in your project. I was trying to scroll. There we go. You can see the page count right there. 2 of 45. It's 45 pages. Now, not as long as some other crap projects I've seen out there, but still excessively long. Like what I read to you all in the Cointelegraph write-up is essentially the white paper. Okay, let's go back to that. This is what you need for your white paper right here. Let's go back to it. Here it is. The white paper describes altcoins as utility tokens that power atomic swaps between cryptocurrencies, fiat currencies, and mobile phone credits on the Acoin network. That's all I need from you, man. Just give me the basic of what you're doing. So first of all, the 45-page white paper already, I'm like, all right, you're trying to get me lost in paperwork, which is what a white paper is not meant for. The second thing is a white paper. I mean, it's like they tell you the directions on the SAT. Like you get points for writing your first and last name right. The white paper is it's supposed to be white. It's not that difficult. Why am I seeing colors throughout the white paper? I don't want to see colors. I don't need a PowerPoint presentation. Like this is the stuff that turns me off of projects before I begin reading it, because it's like, why are you doing all this? If your project is that good, you don't need to do all this. And every real developer and some of the hardest working developers out there and some of the biggest projects, they don't have time to do this stuff. They don't. Those projects don't have money to go into doing these things. So when I see all of this built into your white paper, it doesn't make me think, oh, this must be a great project. No, it looks like you're already wasting money in the wrong places. And you're not even following simple instructions. It's supposed to be a white paper, right? Like I don't need all of this. So again, I will say just from scrolling, it does look simplified with bullet points. But this thing definitely should be a good 20 pages less at a minimum. And like I said, people, let me hear. I brought up early. Let me type in the Bitcoin white paper here. Let's take a peek at the Bitcoin white paper. Let's see how and this is for the entire. Whoa, look at that. You got a couple names or one name, a couple email addresses or email address on the website, right? White paper. You see how quick this is? Straight to the point. Boom, 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 boom. Look at page 9. I always talk about the infamous page 9. It's actually 8 pages. The 9th has 8 references on there. So 9 pages to explain the entire Bitcoin network, with the 9th being references. It's hard for me to trust and believe in a project that has anything over and a bunch of colors. So again, I want to believe in the Acoin project. I want to believe in Akon, but it's just so much sketchy stuff already just from the beginning of it. I don't know. But I hope it does turn out to be right and I'm wrong, so we can see something positive come out from that region. Let's see. PFC Wells said Akon has backers. He's just the face, like the president. No, I agree. That's why I said I know he has some big financial backers all over the world as well. So, again, I just hope it's not a get-rich-quick scheme with those financial backers. All right, next up, Coinbase launches Bitcoin transaction batching, saving users 50% on fees. This is pretty cool if you're actually still using Coinbase. It looks like they unveiled a new feature on their platform designed to save users on their transaction fees. Basically, what Coinbase is going to do, as they say, supporting transaction batching is one way Coinbase can help make Bitcoin more usable by lowering network fees overall and freeing up space on the blockchain. This enables the network to increase transaction throughput and helps to increase stability. So what they're basically doing is in the name, instead of basically having each individual Bitcoin transaction going through to the network, they're going to batch them up in their own blocks. Now, while this does help the network for sure, and I could also see other exchanges kind of following suit if it's going to save on transaction fees, because I can see that saving on transaction fees for them as well. The biggest question about all this is, are these transactions happening on the blockchain, they're on the Bitcoin blockchain, or are they happening on Coinbase's own private blockchain or whatever, and then being switched over to the Bitcoin blockchain? Because what I mean by that, if you're going to batch all these up and then send them, you're going to batch, say, 100 transactions before you process it through or send it to the blockchain, and that means you're storing them on your own servers, you're storing them on your own thing. It's not on the Bitcoin blockchain, or they'll be processed as miners seeing them come in. So again, from the technical aspect, I'm not sure if Coinbase is doing this in-house themselves, or is it somehow being linked to the Bitcoin blockchain? It looks like they're doing it in-house, and if so, it's another reason why we always say, hey, not your keys, not your coin, because if they're able to do that, an exit scam is as easy as, oh, we sent it to the wrong address, or we did the wrong thing, or we did this, we made this one mistake. But by and large, is not as secure as if you were to, of course, just do those transactions on your own. But for those using Coinbase and other exchanges that are as large as it, you can expect to see a discount now when you go ahead and use those services, since they'll have those fees built in for you. But we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Sergeant Crypto said, anyone else shorting the traditional markets? I've been hearing a lot of people actually doing that too. Cryptocurrency exchange Bitfinex lists 280 million crypto hedge fund. Of course, it ended on some great news. Looks like Bitfinex, the major crypto exchange and partner firm of stablecoin Tether, is listing a multi-million-dollar crypto hedge fund. The exchange announced on March 16 that it listed Bahamas-based crypto hedge fund Fugar Alpha, which is currently worth $280 million. According to the Bitfinex, the fund, which is only accessible to professional investors, aims to increase its assets under management this year. So shout out to Bitfinex for launching a crypto hedge fund, probably one of the seemingly worst times. But again, I left this as a last good news story because this is good news. If they're launching a $280 million crypto hedge fund right now when prices are super low, this is how companies like Bitfinex take those big bets, take those big swings at the fences, and then they're still around 10 years from now when everybody's like, oh, Bitfinex and Tether, how is this possible? Scam, whatever. Where are they getting their money from? It's like, this is where they're getting their money from. They're launching funds when Bitcoin's $5,000. Now, of course, if they're releasing this news this week or today, that means they probably already had this fund going for a few weeks now, not in a few months. They're just making it public. But regardless, this is good news for them right now, for them to not only publicize the launch of this fund, but to have it out there, because now people, especially on the institutional side, who are used to investing in all types of markets, not just at the highs, but at the lows, when they see the blood on the streets, they saw the price of Bitcoin 2 or 3 weeks ago, they're going to say, hey, I'm willing to invest in this. I'm willing to say that this virus thing will blow over and eventually Bitcoin will go back to at least its normalized price point beforehand, which was hovering around $9,000. So we'll see what happens with that. James Doe said, no trading for me, no traditional Forex or crypto. I'm not going to lie, people. I think I'm about to take a deeper dip in the crypto market, but we'll see what happens. I'm also on the sidelines. I'm looking at this coronavirus scare again. LA shutting stuff down. I said, you know what? I kept saying last week I wanted to wait until Sunday to kind of get a hold on everything. I'm glad I did because yesterday here in Los Angeles, Sunday night, I think it was about 8 or 9 o'clock last night is when the mayor came out and said, hey, he's shutting down all bars, restaurants, all this good stuff, starting at 12 a.m. last night until at least the 31st. So I know if Los Angeles is shutting things down, then other smaller places are doing the same. So I'm waiting to see how long this lasts. And of course, depending on that, will kind of determine when a good buy-in, because Bitcoin could possibly drop down to that $3.5 to $4,000 mark. So make sure you keep an eye out on it. Other than that, that is the show for today. As always, stay healthy, stay virus free. I know Bitcoin's Day had the hand sanitizer. Make sure you're hitting the hand sanitizer and hitting that hot water and soap as well. Other than that, as always, thanks for watching, people, and we will see you all tomorrow with some more crypto news. Cheers.